Hey guys, if you haven't already, give the video a like, subscribe to my channel. This is a what if series and I'll be doing more down the road. Plus Ultra!
Hey guys, and welcome to What If Deku and Todoroki Were Brothers, Part 5. Now we left off with Deku just defeating Isabel in battle and him and All Might said in unison plus Ultra as All Might hit the Nomu out of the USJ and so did Deku hit Isabel out of the USJ. Now Deku falls unconscious and he sheds a tear due to the fact that this woman is still alive, so she's still possibly out there hurting more people, hurting innocent people like him. And this is what angers Deku inside his body. So when Deku comes to wake up from this pain that he not pain, when he comes to wake up from the nightmares of seeing this woman over and over again, Deku decides to do his training, up his training, make it more intense, make it more bone crushing, as Deku would be training for hours upon hours upon hours. He would spend half of the day trying to use One For All and upping the percentage of One For All. Since he has regeneration, Deku has no ordeal with just breaking his bones. So he's firing off 100% of One For All over and over and over and over and over again, and is breaking his body, but it instantly recovers his wounds. So Deku's just meditating right now, and he's trying to channel, he's channeling all throughout his body, but he's trying to get a more better percentage of the power throughout his bodily functions. And he knows that his fire can be very fucking devastating because of the One For All backing it up. You see, One For All increases the user's quirk, and Deku's quirk can be quite destructive if he wanted it to be. Now, Deku came up with an attack to something that he likes, and he calls it Starlight. A Starlight arrow attack. So what Deku does, Deku creates a bow and arrow, and he shoots an arrow into the sky. And this arrow shoots off into 100 arrows, and then it shoots off into 200 arrows, and then it just rains down very fast. Sort of how Gogeta did to Broly when he fired all those blasts at once. Something similar to that. But Deku, while he's in this area, in this forest area, while he's training, he notices that this would start a forest fire. So before they would hit the forest, he jumps up in the air and whips his leg around and unleashes a gust of wind to basically just put out the flames. Now, I know I haven't mentioned about what Isabel's age is or where she stands. Isabel is in her mid-20s. I don't know if I said that before, but she's in her mid-20s. I just had to clarify that now, but let's get back into the story. So Class 1A is in class, and Shoto Aizawa is getting ready to announce the sports festival, and all of them seem excited to basically embark on the sports festival. Even Ochaku, when she's in her fighter spirit state, and you see this purple hue around her. And with all that, Deku is just in his own world when he's approached by a girl named Momo. Deku asks what she wants, and this is where she asks him that she wants to train with him sometime to become stronger. And Deku would ask what her quirk is, and she would say, I have a creation quirk. I can create stuff as I eat. I don't know, as she eats, she can create items like she thinks it. So if she consumes and keeps consuming, she can create more items and stuff like that. I guess her quirk is called creation. Remind me in the comments. I think I forgot about that one. Anyway, so as Deku looks at her and he's looking her up and down, he asks what kind of martial arts does she do? Then she tells Deku, I know it doesn't look it, but I'm very skilled in Muay Thai, and also takes up bow staff training, as it's very proficient in the battle. Deku would say, show me. So the both of them would walk to the same training field that Deku always trains at, and it's undisclosed location, or somewhere like Dagobah Beach. You can say, yeah, just they go to Dagobah Beach. So him and Momo are at Dagobah Beach, and they're both training, and Deku sees what she was talking about. This girl really is skilled in Muay Thai, and she's he's impressed by her bow staff training, like how she executes the use of that weapon. Oh, it's interesting, and it's getting Deku all excited. So Deku and Momo starts their sparring off and on, and when the day comes to an end, Deku just sits down on the beach and he starts to reminisce about his past. But then he tells Momo, you ever wanted to escape from the reality of this world? And she says, what do you mean by that? I don't understand it. I really don't get the way the world works. You see, there are villains and there are heroes. The heroes fight for what is right, and the villains fight for control, fight to be able to do what they want, to be able to kill, steal, rape, whatever. This world is divided. Even with 80% of the population being like people using quirks and having some uncanny superpower, you would think that they would use those powers for good. And she would say, Deku, well, Izuku, where are you getting at? Deku would look at her and smile, and it would be just like a fake smile because she senses the pain behind that smile. And Deku just says, "No worries, let's just go get something to eat." So Deku and Momo get something to eat, and you can see that those two are starting to warm up to each other. Anyway, so now we get to the part where the USJ arc begins, and well, not the USJ arc, the sports festival begins, and Deku and Todoroki are talking in their room. Well, in Deku's room. Deku's leaning against the wall, and Deku's leaning against the wall, and Todoroki's sitting on his bed. Todoroki looks at Deku and tells him that he's gonna go all out in this tournament, and Deku should too. And Deku would say, "Yeah, maybe I will get to see your fire side for once." This would make Todoroki say that I'm not using my fire side, I'm gonna just use my ice. And this is where Deku would look at him and tell him that, bro, if you only use your ice powers, you're not gonna beat me in a match. I really hope that you use your firepower because it will be a more interesting battle against you. As our sparring matches are always interesting to fight against each other, but in a battle that we're going all out to aim for the top, yes, I want to see you use 100%. If you don't, I'm going to beat you, brother. And this is where the both Todoroki brothers declared that when they see each other on like in the USJ, they're going to go all out against each other. And Todoroki is just a little bit on, like he's a little bit on edge, but like he's just a little bit not backed, but he doesn't want to use his fire side. He doesn't want to give his father the satisfaction of seeing him use it. Well, now we do a little cut to the whole the 4-kilometer race. Now, as the race is about to begin, Todoroki, he does his thing where freezes and all that kind of stuff, but Deku is just running through the field, and he's dodging each and every mind. Every step he takes, he's listening out to see each and where every mind is, or as he's stepping on them, the light touch of his foot, and the mind explodes, but Deku's already gone. Deku is like traversing the minefield with ease, with Todoroki and Bakugo on his tail. Now you can see Todoroki and Bakugo having a little scuffle with each other, and Todoroki does a little spin kick and kicks Bakugo towards Deku, and Deku dodges this because Bakugo had an explosion coming towards his way, but Todoroki managed to get Bakugo the lead as Bakugo gathered his bearings and started blasting himself forward, with Deku using One For All to back up his speed, so he's at like a little 10% just to keep up, well, 10% because he doesn't want to use too much, and he blitzes past Bakugo. Now, Todoroki is using his ice and Bakugo is using his explosion, and you would think that the three of these kids or the three of these students are neck and neck. Deku is slightly ahead of them, and Deku says, "This won't do. I have to speed up. I'm aiming for the top." Then Deku powers up 15% of One For All and uses his flames to basically like thrusters and shoots forward. All you see is these purple flames just shooting out of Deku as he's darting forward across the field. Now, Todoroki sees this, and at this point, Todoroki wants to catch up to his brother. He wants to catch up. He doesn't want to be left in the dust, and it's just so hesitant. Todoroki grits his teeth, but he still will not use his fire. Deku ends up crossing the line and winning the 10 million point headband, with Todoroki and Bakugo, well, Todoroki coming in second place and Bakugo coming in third. Now, this is where Deku looks back at Todoroki, and he says, "See, I told you. If you don't go all out, brother, I'm going to beat you. And from what I'm seeing is that you're so hesitant on using your firepower. I know Dad had treated you bad." And this is where Todoroki would say, "Enough, not here." And he would walk off. Deku would tilt his head and just shrug his shoulders and then walk behind Todoroki. And this is where Bakugo would grab Izuku's shoulder, but the both of them would just get into an intimate stare with Bakugo saying, "I'm gonna win this, you damn nerd." And Deku would look at Bakugo and look at him with eyes of like, "I hope you give me a good fight. It seems like as my brother is not gonna go all out in this tournament, so maybe I can get a good fight from you, Bakugo. I want to see what you're capable of, as we have a lot of unfinished business, don't we? Now, Deku would swipe Bakugo's arm off his shoulders and walk off, with Bakugo just looking at him with an angry scowl or angry face. Then the USJ cavalry battle commences. Now Deku goes around and he asks everyone in just like an ominous tone, like the tone that he did, but he asks people to join his team and obviously gets declined, but he ends up forming the same team that he formed in canon. Now, this is due to the fact that, well, just nobody wants to be with the boy that has a 10 million point headband. I mean, they're all going to be targets. Now, everything plays out as normal. The only thing that changes with this particular event is that Tenya Ida, when he used his reciprocal burst to speed, blitz, and take the headband, Todoroki would have been close. He would have got a finger, like 2 fingers on Deku's headband as Deku dodged like the whole attack. He used One For All in his body to basically dodge it because he sensed that Tenya Ida was coming, finna use his trump card or something like that. And this is where Deku would look at Tenya Ida and he tells him, not everyone, and I mean, not everyone will be able to keep up with me. You see me as a rival, Tenya Ida? Well, I don't see you as a rival. You have to prove to me that you have more skill than just speed. Tenya Ida would hang his head down low as he failed. He's failed. And Deku everything would just play as normal. Deku just looked at Tenya Ida and just told him that the same thing. Well, not the same thing. He just told him that you're not on my level, kid. So that whole arc will go the same. And now we're in the preliminaries, the battles where everyone goes against each other. And that's where I'm going to end part 5 to What If Deku and Todoroki Were Brothers. Now, this one probably is the most uninteresting fact right here, but I can see it. It's alright. It's something, but it's just I wanted to release this part right here, and I have to start being consistent with my videos. Anyway, I know you guys are worrying about me just keep putting new stuff on the channel. And this is mostly to keep the channel fresh and everything. But as I said before, that when I put out a schedule, I don't put specific dates towards my what ifs that I want to do. It's because that I probably will change them in the future, or the day will be different from the schedule saying what day it is. But for those what ifs that I really, really like to do is what if Naruto was Killua's reincarnation, and I'm going to tell that story very, very, very proficient and very keen to how Killua growed up. Anyway, without any further ado, you guys have a good day, a good night, and plus ultra. Good night, guys.